butternut squash time. Today we are smoking butternut squash. All right, so I'm going to take you start to finish on how to smoke butternut squash in the Traeger pellet grill. It's a really easy side dish recipe that smokes at a low point of about 225 degrees Fahrenheit, but you could always knock that up to 250 degrees Fahrenheit if you're cooking like steaks or ham or chicken or anything on the side and you want to cook it at the same time. So all you need to do is slice the butternut squash in half lengthwise with a sharp knife. You need to be careful. They're a little bit difficult to cut. And then scoop out the seeds and discard them. And you can go ahead and just score the butternut squash with a knife in about 1-inch squares. So you want to just really carefully make sure to go through. And this is going to help the butternut squash absorb some of that delicious smoky flavor from the pellet grill, but it's also going to help the seasonings get into the butternut squash. So it's really flavorful because butternut squash doesn't have a huge amount of flavor. You're really adding a lot of flavor to it. So all you do is you season the butternut squash before smoking it with a drizzle of olive oil. I like to brush that on so it gets in all of those scored marks on the squash. And then you sprinkle on some seasonings. I like to go just simple with some salt and cinnamon, just salt and cinnamon. But you could also add some brown sugar or a little cayenne or something with a little bit of heat if you want to change up the flavors. Now, we're smoking this squash on a rainy day, so we made sure not to get any moisture in the pellet hopper. We use pecan pellets for this smoke, but mesquite would be a really good flavor too. And you just smoke butternut squash directly on the grill grates, cut side facing up, for about 2.5 to 3 hours. If it's taking too long for the butternut squash to become soft, then you can just crank up the pellet smoker to 300 degrees Fahrenheit to finish it. Sometimes I get a little impatient, and the last half hour I do that. So the butternut squash is done smoking when it's fork tender, and then you just remove it from the grill grates. You let it cool if you want. You can serve it just right in the peels, or you could cut it out and make a butternut squash salad or soup. Get recipes for those and other smoker dishes at Sip Bite Go. Cheers!